So the chips are definitely stacked in your favor on this one, because 10 years ago, a lot of these tools didn't exist, and so it was very difficult to find the right tool to optimize your productivity or efficiency as a mechanic. So if you're trying to increase your laboring hours that you're able to produce in a given work week, whether you're working flat rate or you're on that hybrid scale like I am, to get that commissional bonus, you're gonna wanna stay tuned to this video. So I know I made mention that about 10 years ago, they didn't have tools like they have of the new modern day of 2021. There's plenty of products out there that are now available that range anywhere from the low, mid to high range in price. A prime example would be a handheld screwdriver. This just so happens to be a screwdriver that I had here at the house, but a handheld screwdriver was used a lot. And the only thing that really counted at that point in time as far as being more efficient was to have a screwdriver that didn't barrel out at the tip, so that way you could back the screw out faster without possibly rounding the inside of it out and then having to use some kind of easy out in order to get the fastener out. Nowadays they've made that a little bit nicer and easier for you, because not only do you have a cordless version that you can use to tighten or loosen a fastener, but they also have come out with new bits that have specialized tips. I think you guys refer to it as the JIS tip, but you can now get these bits to go onto your cordless screw gun to overall optimize that time efficiency and make you more productive as a mechanic. The same exact thing can be said about the handheld ratchet. For many years, they did not offer a flexible style ratchet. In fact, most of them were fixed head design. Most of them didn't exceed the 32 tooth standard at that point in time. But nowadays they range anywhere between 84, 88, 90, 120 XP, right? So a lot of these ratchets that they've come out with are now of a slimmer design, and they also offer you a flexible option, which you can get into tighter spots, which can help optimize your time on the job to be more efficient and create more hours and overall just be more productive. Lucky for you guys, there's plenty of options out there. You can go cheap at the cheap, you can go mid-range, or you can put all your money on the table towards one specific product, and hopefully that product is worthwhile and you're able to be more efficient, optimize those laboring hours that you have to create a bigger income, whether again through that commissional scale or if it's to produce more hours as a flat rate technician to make a bigger check, because it's not what it's about. So instead of using a handheld ratchet, because that can take some time to do, you could go to a cordless ratchet, and a cordless ratchet might be more efficient for you as a mechanic, because if you can't get an air tool or an air ratchet down into a specific location because of the air hose that is in the way, then this cordless tool will optimize your efficiency as a mechanic, producing more hours. Tool storage. Tool storage is another thing that can help optimize your efficiency as a mechanic, because not just the double bank that you have lonely sitting over there in the corner that's holding all of your overflow. Maybe you're not using it like that because you have a designated bay. We should all be so lucky. But at the independent shop, you don't have a designated bay. You work in and out of just about any bay throughout the entire shop, so you have to be more mobile. Yes, you have a fixed point and where your double bank is gonna sit, but you have to be more mobile around the shop. This is where a nice service car would come into handy. Now, my service car cost way more than my double bank 56-inch US General. Obviously, I have the Matco Jamestown, but that was to help me to produce more hours because I had a full drawer lineup, and I was able to put all the generic hand tools that I would ever probably use or utilize throughout each working day and each working week. As a heavy line mechanic, I'm always having to use hammers, chisels, air tools, sockets, wrenches, ratchet wrenches, cordless tools, and then occasionally I bust out the scan tool or pressure testers, and all of which fits in my service car, all of which is mobile, and I can move across from one side of the shop to the other with ease, and I don't have to worry about trying to drag my double bank all the way down there. It makes no sense to do that. So all the things that I don't use in a given working day stay in my double bank. They stay over in whatever corner of the shop that I end up finding myself in, and I only go over there for specific things that I might need in case the mood strikes, right? Whether it's a specialty puller, a rethread kit, a tap and die kit, a sawzall, or whatever I end up needing to utilize that's not in my service car, I can rarely go over to my double bank, save myself time, which makes me more efficient as a mechanic. Some other things that you might not know about or consider is education. Educate yourself in the field that you're currently working in. So if you're a mechanic and you're working the automotive trade, bring yourself up to speed on some of the more current vehicles that are out there. Look through all data, go through their flow charts, whether it's a mechanical flow chart or a diagnostic flow chart, but get used to various product lines that you're working on. If you work at a dealership, you're gonna run into rhythm repairs. Okay, these repairs are gonna come in, you're gonna get into a rhythm because they're so repeat that you actually get more proficient at it. You figure out ways to be faster. No, it's not a shortcut. A lot of guys will call them shortcuts. Oh, you're shortcutting it, you're not following every single step. If there is a step that I can jump over that doesn't need to be done in order to make good use of my time, that overall is gonna make me a more efficient mechanic than the guy before me that wants to follow every single step all the way down to the T. Now, if you're just starting out, you're not gonna wanna skip steps in the beginning, okay? You're gonna wanna follow the mechanical flow chart or diagnostic flow chart all the way through till the bitter end, however bitter it may seem, until you can become more comfortable with that specific vehicle and what it is that you're testing. Once you've seen it enough times, once you've worked on it enough times, you will find ways that you can become more efficient by not having to do certain steps throughout any flow chart, be it mechanical or diagnostically speaking. Take Keith DeFazio, take Cody from Cody's Diagnostic, take Nathan from Polly's Auto. All these guys that do diagnostics on the regular, Mario from Super Mario Diagnostics, okay? All these guys have at one point or another started out with the flow chart and were able to work themselves out of the flow chart into their own rhythm to where now they don't even need to really go to the flow chart. They already know where they want to start. They pick a direction, they go with it. They know what loopholes they can jump over in order to be more efficient, maximizing their time frame. Because if you're not maximizing your efficiency by learning the product as best that you possibly can, then you're wasting time and trading all those labor hours that you didn't have to just because you want to stick to the flow chart is never going to make you more productive. Figuring out how to get the repair done faster or diagnose it faster without having to follow each and every single step is gonna make you better and more efficient as a mechanic. Think of it like this: you go buy a piece of furniture from Walmart. Do you always open up the instruction manual and go right to how they do it? No. More times than not, if you're mechanically inclined, you're already gonna know how to do it for the most part, and simply looking at the cover of the box and seeing how it's overall laid out, you're like, okay, I got a rough idea. And then you're able to tackle it utilizing the pieces that they gave you, and boom, you're done, right? Sometimes you have to follow the instructions, especially if it's your first time ever doing the repair or the first time ever diagnosing that specific problem. Sometimes you might have to call for some backup, right? At Chrysler I called them Star Command. We had this call center that I was able to call, and they would walk me through various steps. If I got to a point in the flow chart that didn't make any sense, it would say, call this call center, call Star Call Center. They'll help you out from there. So we were able to do that, and then effectively I didn't have to do that again. For that next repair, when it came in, I already knew what path I needed to go down before I can condemn a part, before I could do the repair. So educate yourself on what it is that you're actually working on, and that overall is going to make you more efficient as a mechanic or technician. Some other things that might make you more efficient as a mechanic is just going to be doing your due diligence and research on the actual project at hand. So if you've never taken something apart before, you get hung up, it's the end of the day, you didn't get a chance to actually go through the entire chart. Maybe all data doesn't provide all the information, because I know that all data doesn't provide all the information. Maybe Directed didn't provide all the information. Maybe there's pieces to the puzzle that are missing, and that's where YouTube University comes into play. So when you go home at night, instead of going to bed right away or cracking that first beer, why don't you just jump onto YouTube, maybe crack that first beer and jump on YouTube, but watch some of these guys that have already done the repair videos, and you're like, oh, okay, so that's how they did it. I was wondering how that piece came off. Well, now you know, so tomorrow when you go back into work, you're not just going in there with the same exact mentality that you left with of, I don't know, I guess I'll just figure it out tomorrow. You already have a game plan, you already saw how it was done, so now when you go back to work, you used your time in the evening effectively or efficiently to come back to work to be more efficient, to get more hours, and that's how that works. So just something to think about if you never thought about it before. Do some research and watch what others have done, because if you can do that, then you've already lined yourself up for success going into the next business day, right? Because now you already know what to do, how to tackle it, and then boom, you're done. The last thing that I'm going to touch on is going to be coursework, because taking courses, whether it's through O'Reilly's website, the Valvoline website, if you go to any of the ACDelco websites that they have programs instilled that you can go through to learn about, you know, hybrid systems, to learn about diagnostic approaches, to learn about troubleshooting transmission complaints or noise and vibration and harshness complaints. You go through these courses even after college, okay? So it doesn't just stop at your college education. If you never had one, now you're getting a free education online, somebody already breaking it down and giving you a tutorial on what's within that system that you're getting ready to repair or diagnose. And they're gonna show you some troubleshooting tricks along the way that's going to overall help increase your productivity, and it makes you more efficient, right? Because you can get to the job, you're like, okay, I'm already educated on the matter, I know what it is that I'm looking for, and you can dive right into it. These courses are absolutely free. Just go to any one of their web pages. But don't just take my word for it. I urge and encourage all my content creators out there to feel free to do a response video to this video and share with me some of your thoughts and opinions as far as what tools can you purchase, or tools that you would recommend, be it tool storage or even educational books or courses, would you recommend to help a fellow upcoming mechanic or technician optimize their time to be more efficient? I did just get off the phone with Jaron from Garnett Tools, who's going to be doing a response video himself, and I urge and encourage everyone else to do the same. I'll put his channel link down in the description below, as well as some Amazon affiliate links to some tools that I think might help you become more proficient, efficient as a mechanic to optimize your time, because right now you're trading your physical laboring hours for that time, and the only way to maximize that time in a given workday is to be better, be faster, be more educated, and be mobile. That's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks as always for watching my channel. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers to those of you that have your beers, and I hope you're enjoying your work week. Deuces.